Yes, good evening, Professor. My name is Max Eckerson. I am in your Liberty University Online 501 class, and I am responding to your question that you proposed in Laura's discussion post this week. And I thought it was a really great question that you proposed, discussing about gift giving and receiving gifts from your clients. And this is something I've thought briefly about just because of our reading the past couple weeks, but I haven't put a lot of thought into it just because I'm not in the field currently and haven't come across those types of situations. Um, but then the other article that you actually posted the link to, I read through it and brought some really good clarity, some good information, and really helped me to better understand the pros and the cons of receiving gifts. And so this is some of the information that I learned. Um, so yeah, the article that you mentioned was so Mark Gehrig mentioned how gift giving can be seen as a tip. So he used the analogy that um, like if you go to a restaurant and if your server does a good job, then you give them a tip. And he used that analogy as you know that's what a professional could see, that gift could be seen as a tip. The next part that he described was a client might use this as a payment, and this could put like just a counselor in a very difficult situation of them trying to use, like, a client possibly trying to use a gift as their payment and saying, hey, this is all I can afford type of thing. Um, that can just be put a counselor in a very difficult situation. So the next part is, can this be seen as bartering? Can a gift be seen as bartering? How I think it was in, I forgot what chapter it was, but in our textbook where it describes that in some smaller rural areas that they use bartering as service to service to, if a person can't afford it, then, they'll use their talents or skills. If it's a person redoing a kitchen or something like that, then the counselor could provide their services as a counselor and they could get their kitchen done, type thing. And so that could just put a person, but then also gift giving can be potential exploitation. It can bring conflicts, and it can be a distortion of professional relationship. It can just kind of kind of make the lines really blurry of what is this relationship and it being difficult. But then also, this question, or me thinking through this, could sound negative, and I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to think of the best, for the client, for myself, and for for the office that I'll be working at in the future. But how do we know the client is not trying to manipulate and trying to um, get a certain outcome that they are looking for? So, for myself, that's something I've thought through. And so as I've gone through this week, or yeah, this weekend, and as I read that article, I think I just kind of came with, I might have the, kind of the protocol that I just don't receive gifts. And, I really appreciate the gift. I really appreciate the thought, but just for ethical purposes and for the best of our relationship, I am just not going to receive gifts. So that's kind of what I'm more leaning towards. So thank you so much for proposing that question. You really made me think, and I appreciate, all your critiques and your information. And I just wish you the best, and I hope you have a great weekend.